Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Sultanate condemns the terrorist attack on a mosque in Al-Ahsa city in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. To discuss political and economic relations between the two countries, His Excellency the Deputy Prime Minister of Thailand arrives in the Sultanate. The Minister of Health emphasizes to radio and television of Oman the Sultanate's preparedness for Zika virus. Travelers crossing the empty Quarter Desert arrive in the Sultanate after cutting a distance of 1,300 kilometers. Live from the news center of the Sultanate of Oman television, here are the details. The Sultanate strongly condemns the terrorist attacks on Imam al-Rida Mosque in Al-Ahsa, which resulted in martyrs and injuries of a number of innocent worshippers. The Sultanate expresses its sincere solidarity and stands with the brothers in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, government and people against all forms of sinful terrorism committed towards innocents at all times and places. To discuss and develop political and economic relations between the Sultanate and the Kingdom of Thailand, His Excellency Dr. Somkid Jatuskripitak, Deputy Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Thailand, arrived in the Sultanate at noon today on a two-day visit. He was received on arrival by His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Darwish bin Ismail al-Balushi, Minister responsible for Financial Affairs, His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masood al-Sinadi, Minister of Commerce and Industry, and His Excellency Dr. Salim bin Nasser al-Ismaili, Chairman of the Public Authority for Investment, Promotion and Export Development. The guest is being accompanied by an official delegation comprising His Excellency Don Pramodwinai, Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Apiradi Tantraporn, Minister of Commerce, Her Excellency Achaka Sibunwang, Minister of Industry, and His Excellency Pichet Durangkoveiroj, Minister of Science and Technology. Ministry of Health launches the first GCC Cancer Awareness Week as part of the GCC Awareness campaign to fight cancer. This was released in a press conference held this morning at the Ministry of Health. More details in the following report. Cancer is one of the most diseases that threaten health and the second frequent disease after cardiovascular diseases in the most of the countries and the Sultanate as well. The collective report issued by the Gulf Center of Cancer Control and Prevention, GCCCP, indicates that around 120,000 cancer cases has been registered in the GCC countries between 1998 and 2009. Incidence rate is higher in the advanced industrial countries. Several studies indicate possible rise from 14 million in 2012 into 22.7 million in 2030.
The main reason for this week is to raise the awareness of these diseases amongst the public. Unfortunately, cancer is the second highest disease in Oman after cardiovascular disease and in the region.
The researchers expected that rates of cancer cases will exceed the global rates among the GCC citizens. Over 50% of cancer cases in the GCC countries are being detected in advanced stages, which are hard to treat, while success rate of treatment is much higher if the case detected early. Rapid progress in the field of healthcare at all levels led to the possibility of controlling many types of cancers as well as increasing the chances of recovery. The fast changes in economic and social life in the GCC countries led to significant changes in lifestyles.
Lifestyle has to be modified. It is very clear that smoking, excess use of alcohol, obesity, lack of physical activities, and unhealthy eating are main factors in causing cancers. 40% of cancers and other non-communicable diseases can be avoided by modifying our lifestyle. Also, if we diagnose the disease early enough, 40% are curable. Therefore, I'm urging everybody to be aware of what are the causes of cancer, to avoid them firstly. Secondly, for those who are suspected to have these diseases, to seek medical help as soon as possible.
From this perspective and a continuation to the efforts in fighting against cancer in the GCC countries, it was decided to conduct a GCC-wide awareness campaign annually during the first week of February in order to promote health awareness and protect the Gulf society from cancer risks. The Sultanate adopted the National Cancer Control Program as part of Public Health Program package, which was designed to reduce the cancer mortality and improve the quality of life of cancer patients through the systematic and equitable implementation of the strategies based on data for prevention, early detection and proper management. A press conference was held this morning upon completing the historical feat of crossing the largest desert in the world in less than 50 days by crossing the empty quarter. Team, more the details in the following report by Sultan bin Saif Al Sarai.
After tough days of traveling on foot and by camel, the exhausted expedition team of 2 Omani explorers and British explorer has safely returned to Oman after successfully crossing the empty quarter desert.
We want to share this journey with people in Oman. We want lectures in Salalah, in Muscat, in Nizwa, and Sohar, and then also London and New York and Washington to share the journey internationally. And it's been great for us to put Oman on the world map. It's been wonderful for us to share Oman's rich culture and history and heritage with such a wonderful audience around the world.
The expedition that started on December 10, 2015 in Salalah covered 1,300 kilometers in 49 days, passing through the empty quarter desert in Saudi Arabia before ending in Doha, Qatar on January 27, 2016. The journey, blessing by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said, came as part of the celebration of the 45th Glorious National Day.
It's 49 days since we left Salalah in the 10th of December, and this is the length. It's really challenging because 49 days, every day it's 40 kilometers, really tiring in a different environment, heat and cold, big sand dunes, and also sometimes the camel refuse to walk, so you have struggled not just with yourself and with the other, so lots of challenges around you.
In addition to undertaking a series of scientific projects, the expedition aimed to reconnect Arab youth to their culture and heritage, and to help young people realize that little can be achieved in life without sustained hard work and determination. After 49 challenging days, these amazing travelers finally returned with a historical achievement. Sultan bin Saif Al Sarai, Muscat.
80,000 beehives are bred in various governorates of the Sultanate. This was unveiled by the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth during the launch of the national campaign of combating Varroa parasite. The campaigns last for 1 month, during which free vaccines will be distributed to honey breeders in order to increase the honey production and raise up the financial revenue for honey breeders. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin. The 400-year-old castle in the Wilaya of Ibri in the Governorate of Al-Zahira reflects the workmanship of Omanis in the field of designing and construction. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Oman Air Business Class seat had won a Good Design Prize from the Ethnicity Chicago Museum of the United States. The museum awarded Oman Air this prize for the seat, which combines innovation and luxury to be within the best modern achievements around the world, distinctive in design for 2015. The assessment program, which is organized annually by the Ethnicity Chicago Museum for Architecture and Design since 1950, aimed to call attention to the importance of distinctive designs around globally and to highlight how the effect of new design is reflected positively on the modern lifestyle quality. Muscat Securities Market Week's trading commenced on a positive note. More details in the following report by Sayyida Tabinda Bukhari.
MSM 30 index closed today at 5.17 points, recording an increase of 162.85 points, representing 3.25% compared with the last trading session.
I think Muscat security will be balanced for this week, and I'm not seeing any worry for upcoming weeks because the dividend ratio and is good. The investor also, they know where to buy. They focus on the investment company, banking sector especially, and that's the right way to be in the market at this moment.
The value traded securities today reached 7.20 million Rial Omani, with an increase of 17.38% compared with the last trading session, which recorded 6.13 million Rial Omani. The market capitalization increased by 1.33% against last trading day, reaching around 15.55 billion Rial Omani. It is worth mentioning that the value of shares bought by non-Omani investors reached 617,000 Rial Omani, recording 8.58%. The value of shares sold by non-Omani investors reached 1,791,000 Rial Omani at a percentage of 24.89%. The net foreign investment on the market decreased to 1,174,000 Rial Omani by 16.31%. On the last day of dismal Jan, markets start to show a sign of recovery. Since the beginning of this new financial year, the markets have been impacted by the negative investor-trader behavior towards a downward spiral. Now they are looking forward towards slight improvements even to the fair levels of the market in order to just recover from the last year's losses. Sayyida Tabinda Bukhari from Muscat Securities Market.
That was Tabinda Bukhari. The Minister of Housing decided to raise up some fees of granted land registration in some legal transactions as from the next month. The decision fixed collection of 5% fees from the value of plot at the time of registering the granted land and on registration of selling and granting contracts from the others and from next of kin who are not from the immediate relatives. Adhering to traffic rules by citizens and residents contributed to reduce the traffic accidents in all governorates of the Sultanate. Royal Oman Police, ROP, doubles the efforts to spread awareness of the importance of seat belt, which saves the drivers and the passengers. The Royal Oman Police campaigns highlighted the importance of traffic safety in addition to instill the culture of traffic safety and spread awareness messages among the society members. They also focused on the effects of using mobile phones while driving. Within its exerted efforts in developing infrastructure of the villages of the wilayas of the Sultanate, Directorate General of Regional Municipalities and Water Resources implemented a number of projects in the field of roads and water resources in the governorate of Al Buremi. The Directorate is asphalting internal roads in the new residential schemes and industrial areas in the wilayas of the governorate. It is maintaining and renovating various villages in the 3 wilayas of the governorate. It's worth mentioning that the Directorate has completed 50% of the work. The youth creation competition concluded in the Wilayah of Ibri. It was organized by the Ibri Sports Club. It included a number of activities, namely a play on youth issues as well as a fine arts exhibition that included some photographs and pictures. Still in the Wilayah of Ibri, in the Governorate of Al-Dhahira, that enjoys a number of touristic landmarks that contributed in activating internal tourism in the Governorate. Such touristic potentials include castles, forts, wadis and mountains. Ibri Castle is considered one of the most important touristic landmarks in the Governorate. The 400-year-old castle with its unique architecture reflects workmanship of Omanis in the field of designing and construction. This touristic landmark is located at the center of the city and nearby the old souk of the Wilayah. What most attracts the tourist in the castle is the wonderful design of doors and windows. It also contains a mosque. Now for the general weather forecast. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the northern governorates. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies. Winds will be northwesterly light to moderate, occasionally active in most governorates of the Sultanate, becoming southwesterly light to moderate along the coast overlooking Sea of Oman. Seas will be rough along the coast overlooking the Arabian Sea with a maximum wave height of 2.5 meters, while it will be slight to moderate along the rest of the coast with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Sultanate condemns the terrorist attack on a mosque in Al-Ahsa city in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. To discuss political and economic relations between the two countries, His Excellency the Deputy Prime Minister of Thailand arrives in the Sultanate. The Minister of Health emphasizes to radio and television of Oman the Sultanate's preparedness for Zika virus. And travelers crossing the empty Quarter Desert arrived in the Sultanate after cutting a distance of 1,300 kilometers. Live from the news center of the Sultanate of Oman television, we have presented to you 7 p.m. news bulletin. From the entire news team, we do thank you for joining us and good night.